Have you ever felt like a fraud, even after achieving something amazing? Dr. Aris Thorne just won a prestigious award, yet a whisper of doubt tells her she doesn't deserve it. This story explores the silent battle against imposter syndrome. Discover how one unexpected conversation helps her redefine success and finally embrace her true worth. Your own doubts might just find their answer here. Dr. Aris Thorne sat alone in her university office, the glow of the late afternoon sun warming her desk. Centred on the surface sat the heavy bronze medal of the Innovator of the Year award, an honour bestowed upon her for a groundbreaking discovery in astrophysics. But to Aris, it felt cold and foreign, an accusation rather than a celebration. The room around her was crowded with plaques and certificates, all commemorating her career's milestones. But instead of comfort, they brought a strange sense of distance, as if they belonged to someone else entirely. She traced her finger along the edge of the medal, feeling its weight physically and emotionally. The voice inside her head whispered relentlessly, "It was a fluke. They made a mistake. They'll find out you don't belong here." Aris had just made one of the most groundbreaking discoveries in astrophysics. A new type of pulsar that challenged everything her field thought it knew. Yet, instead of joy or pride, she felt dread, a heavy knot of anxiety tightening in her chest. It was as if the universe had given her this moment, only to snatch it away the next second. The thought that she was a fraud, an imposter who had fooled everyone, dominated her every waking thought. Her fingers drummed on the desk, the rhythm a desperate attempt to quiet the storm inside her mind. The hours ticked by, and no matter how much evidence she had, years of research, published papers, recommendations from peers, the voice of doubt was louder. She almost envied those who could celebrate freely. Her accomplishments felt like hidden shadows behind a mask she was afraid to remove. A knock on the door broke her spiraling thoughts. "Come in," Aris said, without looking up. The door opened gently, and a young graduate student stepped inside, holding a worn, faded paper rolled carefully in his hands. "Dr. Thorne," he said, his voice bright with genuine excitement. "I hope I'm not interrupting. I've been reading this, your very first published paper from almost 10 years ago." Aris blinked. "That old thing? Curious, what made you dig that up?" Ben smiled, stepping closer. "I'm stuck on a problem very similar to the one you tackled back then. I've been poring over your early data, but I can't seem to see how you made the leap from that messy data set to your initial hypothesis. It's like there's a missing step." Aris exhaled slowly, setting aside the medal as she leaned back in her chair. It wasn't always as neat as it looks now. That paper, it's really a story about struggle. Her voice softened. Memories of those restless nights and countless dead ends rushing back. There were so many times I thought I was wrong, or that I'd never find an answer. I worked through endless frustration and confusion. I wondered if all the effort was worth it, if I was just wasting my time. Ben nodded, his eyes fixed on her, eager to learn. "How did you keep going?" Aris smiled faintly, a warmth spreading inside her chest. "There was one tiny observation, buried deep in the noise, that made me think differently. It was like a small crack in a wall that eventually crumbled everything blocking my way. It didn't come from sudden inspiration, just persistence and a lot of trial and error." She took the paper from Ben's hands and opened it carefully. The data looks chaotic, but behind it was a process, imperfect, messy, human. That's where the real work existed, not in the polished rows of numbers or conclusions. Ben leaned forward, clearly inspired.
So, the award you got, maybe it's more than just a shiny medal, it's a symbol of all that hard work and those moments no one sees.
Aris looked back at the medal, feeling its weight anew. Yes, the award is abstract. It doesn't capture the nights filled with doubt or the mistakes along the way. Her voice steadied, gaining strength. But the struggle behind it, that's undeniable proof that the work was real. I did it, even when I didn't believe it myself. The anxiety inside her didn't vanish, but the oppressive voice was quieter now, softened by the truth she'd spoken aloud. Aris realised she hadn't yet learned to accept praise freely, but in sharing her story of perseverance, she'd begun to accept her own effort, and that made all the difference. Ben smiled, quietly grateful. "Thank you for sharing that. It's exactly what I needed to hear." Aris nodded, feeling a slow, steady sense of peace settle over her. The medal still rested there, heavy and bronze, but now it felt less like a stranger and more like a companion on her journey. It wasn't perfection she had earned. It was the courage to keep going, even when doubt screamed the loudest. And that was worth far more than any award. As Ben left her office, Aris sat for a moment longer, reflecting on her conversation. The medal on her desk seemed to gleam a little brighter now. She reached out and gently picked it up, holding it in her hand with a newfound appreciation. The weight felt different now, no longer a symbol of doubt, but a testament to her perseverance.